Story 1. Two main points. 1. Lift weights. Simple yet life-changing. Do not put much stock in what others think of you. Number 2 becomes easier with age, but if I had been this nonchalant at 18, it would have been a game changer. Story 2. Exercising more. I always thought running and hiking would be boring, and it never interested me. I started trail running last summer and really enjoyed it. After about a month, I began to feel much more energetic and healthy, both physically and mentally. Story 3. Treating sleep apnea has been a challenge for me. I resisted getting a continuous positive airway pressure machine for so long. My dad and brother both needed one, and I stayed in denial. I had a couple of car accidents because I dozed off behind the wheel from years of poor sleep. Additionally, I should have quit drinking a long time ago. Story 4. I moved out of my apartment where I worked from home and into a house. Being in the same place most of the time was negatively affecting my mental health. Story 5. Exercising often and consistently is beneficial. I may dread certain exercises, but I motivate myself by focusing on how much better I feel afterward. Additionally, having muscle tone is enjoyable. Story 6. Stop worrying about what you should be doing. Let go of the feeling that you always need to be active. Life will present challenges that you need to address. If nothing is coming your way, it's fine to just relax. Story 7. Going to the gym 4 times a week is beneficial. It provides a sense of stability in my life, and noticing some definition in my body has definitely boosted my confidence. Story 8. I switched from shopping whenever I needed to cook to shopping once a week. Costs less money, saves time, and helps me eat healthier. Story 9. Plenty of things, but the biggest benefit for me was preparing for the next morning. I'm notoriously lazy in the mornings, so much so that I used to take any excuse to laze around half the day. Night me started taking more of those excuses away from morning me. A simple example is picking out my clothes the day before. It's easy to stay distracted by watching videos or scrolling through social media. So removing even the smallest of steps between you and stepping outside is invaluable. Story 10. I removed all the toxic individuals from my life by going no contact. I lost multiple friends and family members and stopped caring about events and places I frequented for hobbies. I began changing where I went and who I interacted with from that point on. Now my life is extremely fulfilling and happy. I enjoy my life knowing that I will never have to deal with those negative people again. Story 11. Divorce led to a series of positive changes in my life. I obtained a much better job and earned enough in 9 years to retire. My relationship with my kids has improved significantly, and I have enjoyed a steady stream of zero-drama girlfriends. I can now pursue my hobbies, and my health has also improved. Conversely, her life took a downturn. She lives in a small 1-bedroom apartment in a less-than-ideal part of town. She had her car repossessed, is stuck in a dead-end job, and our kids can barely stand her. For those who care, yes, she cheated, and when she lost her car, I paid the back payments to help her get it back because I didn't want my kids worrying about her. Additionally, the man she cheated with dumped her for a younger woman, whom he also married. Truly reads like a lesson in karma. Story 12:1. Saying no or that I am busy to things I really didn't want to do or participate in. Letting go of things I can't control. There are times when being selfish doesn't hurt anyone. Story 13. This may sound silly, but being responsible has made a difference. While I'm not the most organized person, committing to tasks like keeping my room clean and brushing my teeth daily has significantly improved my mental state and helped me stop loathing my existence. Story 14. I'm an adult. I take my joint with my morning coffee, and I'm set for the day. There is no need to drink multiple energy drinks like I used to. Story 15. Giving up pornography has made my mind feel much clearer. I don't feel anxious. I still engage in self-pleasure and believe everyone should as well. However, pornography is harmful. Story 16. I got a motorcycle and started being direct with my wife about wanting intimacy, instead of being standoffish due to my fear of rejection. Story 17. Learning to budget, pay off all my debts, and create a 3-month nest egg has relieved a lot of stress at home and work. Honestly, if you take car payments and mortgage payments out of the equation, life is much better. Story 18. I got a dog. I have a best buddy around all the time, and I am encouraged to go on walks and hikes. A dog has gotten me outside more than anything else. Story 19. Quit smoking cannabis and now I am always sober. Cannabis can make you complacent with life and prevent you from moving forward. It was truly a coping mechanism for many underlying issues I was ignoring. Story 20. Weight training involves lifting progressively heavier weights and managing diet and sleep to support that. Having children requires a lot of work, but a family encourages you to set priorities, which is beneficial. I'm not sure I would have been a better parent if I had my children in my 30s, but I would definitely be a better grandparent. Dating to find a partner can be a lengthy process. I dated for a long time before and after my first marriage, and I wish I had approached it more strategically. For instance, I realized that while someone may be attractive, they might not offer much else worthwhile. Prioritizing health is crucial. I lift weights twice a week, and nothing short of a family emergency prevents me from doing so. I also ensure I get 8 hours of sleep, stay hydrated, and eat healthy foods. I am committed to meeting my nutritional goals, even if it means taking a protein shake to a family gathering. Avoiding unnecessary purchases is important. When my first business did well, I made the mistake of buying a BMW Z3. It was a beautiful car but required frequent warranty work and expensive tires. I named it humorously, and when a friend totaled it, although I was relieved he was unharmed, it turned out to be one of the best moments of my life. There are countless unnecessary expenses. Things like suits and watches often become trivial. In reality, no one really cares about those items. So when making purchases, opt for dependable choices like a Toyota Corolla, a reliable option that simply works, just like a comfortable home in a good neighborhood. Story 21. Quitting drinking can be a revelation. Those who do not struggle with alcohol should appreciate the good things in life, often without realizing it. Story 22. Hormone replacement therapy was tested at 40, and my testosterone levels were very low, likely for a long time. I raised my levels to a healthy range, achieved better mental clarity, lost weight, and gained muscle. Story 23. Empathy, compassion, self-care, and complete respect for the struggles that women face in all walks of life. Story 24. Road running and going to the gym. I am trying to eat once a day. I am working on giving up alcohol and I am almost there. Story 25. Meditate. Spend time alone with your thoughts. You don't realize how much external chaos affects your thought process until you take the time to center and calm yourself. Reference: 55-year-old male who has been meditating nearly all his life. Story 26. Removal of a maxillary sinus mucus retention cyst, which I was assured was causing no problems for several years, and septoplasty led to a reduction in migraines from 2 to 3 a week to none. Story 27. I bought a house. Rentals are difficult in Australia, and real estate agents and landlords can be quite challenging to deal with. On a personal note, I opted for gastric sleeve surgery to help with weight loss and maintenance. I do not suggest it as a first option. Mine was after many attempts and failures at losing weight. I went from over 150 kilograms to just over 100 kilograms and have maintained that for about 5 years. I wish I had made more effort to lose weight sooner. I may not have needed to have the surgery then. However, it is done and I am glad. Story 28. Quitting drinking and smoking. Seeing a psychologist and getting properly evaluated mentally was also a game changer. Story 29. Sleeping correctly. I had no idea how tired I actually was all the time until I wasn't. I got a sleep study, a CPAP machine, a new mattress, new pillows, a cozy bed set, and blackout curtains. It was life-changing. Story 30. Keeping my teeth, hair, and nails in good shape takes some effort, but not too much. As the wise say, everyone is crazy for a sharply dressed man. Story 31. Packing in cigarettes has led to my emphysema and asthma. I wish I had known earlier, but I thought I looked cool at the time. Story 32. I started regularly playing my childhood sport again. It makes me happy and keeps me in better shape. Story 33. Exercise every day with an emphasis on cardiovascular activity. Keep the intensity moderate. Aim for a brisk 40 minutes of exercise each day, along with 20 minutes in a sauna 4 to 5 days a week. This approach is far more effective than any antidepressants. Story 34. Learning that I do not have to respond to every perceived slight, whether real or imagined. Life is too unpredictable to dwell on or act upon things that will not matter when it is time to cut the grass. Story 35. Take the gym seriously. I have deleted all my social media. 31. I am in the best shape of my life. Physically and mentally, I feel on top of the world. Nothing phases me. Story 36. Meditation. If you let go, open your heart, and become a silent observer of your thoughts, you can reach deep inside yourself and find the essence of being, which in turn provides calm, peace, and happiness. I am a combat veteran, former collegiate football player, and I currently flip houses and manage rental properties. I assume most do not see me as the type of person to have a meditation practice. However, when taken seriously and practiced actively, meditation has changed my life. Story 37. I put in a lot of effort. I moved out of my dysfunctional home before turning 18, which jump-started my motivation to improve my life. I wish I had left that depressing situation sooner. Story 38. Surrounding yourself with love and community is essential. We are meant to be in deep, intimate connection with others. Also, the standard practices include meditation, yoga, eating healthier, and spending time in nature. Additionally, for me, wood carving completely centers me. Story 39. Fasting from time to time is beneficial. I am 70 years old and have issues with swollen feet. Fasting for 60 hours once or twice a week helps alleviate this and aids in weight loss. I work out on the first day and rest on the second day. Story 40. Endurance sports. I lost weight and I never get tired in normal life. I'm more likely to commit to challenging tasks. It is both humbling and confidence building. You truly connect with your inner strength when your body and mind tell you that you are exhausted, yet you still have miles to cover. Story 41. Weightlifting is beneficial for strength, muscle development, and appearance. I was overly focused on weightlifting for athleticism, cardio, and martial arts, which was not sustainable for me. Having big muscles and looking good provided me with a significant boost in confidence. Story 42. 90% of the food I eat is from the produce aisle or local farmers. I used to mainly consume highly processed foods with little nutritional value. Story 43. I drank more water and stopped using my phone in bed. I fall asleep within 2 minutes of closing my eyes. Story 44. Cut back on drinking and get proper sleep. The second is contingent on the first. Drinking close to bedtime will negatively impact several days of sleep. There's no feeling like waking up with the sun and actually feeling well rested. After 3 days of that, you will feel like a superhero. Story 45. Working remotely provides me with the opportunity to sleep in, take breaks for exercise, and complete all my chores during the day. I enjoy much more freedom and have ample free time. Story 46. I decided that my peace of mind, along with that of my children and dogs, was more valuable than confrontational and often violent discussions about money with their mother. I was and am a total one-man show. I quietly filed for bankruptcy in 2011 and came out of it in 2016 by making steady payments. I may have to file again, but compared to my peace of mind, I would do that a dozen times more. I regained my reading habit, but most importantly, I found my passion for music again. Story 47. I started training in martial arts at 37 and now, at 41, I am in better shape than I have ever been. I began taking magnesium and fiber, and I finally managed to go once a day. I eliminated all sugar in my early 30s. If I had avoided sugar in my childhood, perhaps my attention deficit hyperactivity disorder would not have been so severe. Story 48. Drinking more fluids and getting a good night's sleep makes everything else in life much easier to manage. Story 49. Saving money for bills has prevented me from scrambling to gather funds in the weeks beforehand and alleviated a lot of stress. Having my bills covered is much more relaxing than I anticipated. Additionally, having an emergency fund for unexpected expenses allows me to worry less. I can focus on saving, investing, managing daily and weekly expenses, and enjoying life. Story 50. I quit drinking around the time COVID started. I thought I'd stop for a week, but it turned into a couple of years. I'm back to drinking occasionally, but not nearly as much or as often. Story 51. Living below my means and saving money. When you have a set budget and everything is on autopay, you don't have to worry about money at all. Life is good. I've experienced both sides with the same income, and it's like night and day. Story 52. Adderall. I struggled with attention deficit disorder for 30 of my 35 years on Earth. I had no idea that my brain could even be quiet. Adderall alone had a greater impact on my daily life than several antidepressants combined. Story 53. Exercising in the morning before work gives me a mental head start for the day and makes me more productive throughout the day. Story 54. I gave up alcohol and smoking and wish I had done it years ago. I thought I would smoke marijuana to cope, but I gave that up as well. What a difference. I love my sober life. Story 55. I have combined eating healthier with regular exercise. I still enjoy my favorite foods, but I have incorporated better choices and improved cooking methods. I studied a bit about nutrition, which has significantly enhanced my cooking for myself and my family. My workout routine now includes more strength training and body recomposition. I am not particularly fond of intense cardio, so this approach has been very effective. While my weight has remained the same, I look much healthier and stronger. The increase in strength has made it easier to keep up with my toddler and has alleviated pain and issues related to weakness. The most significant improvement was with a shoulder impingement that had been worsening. After a few weeks of targeted training, the pain has mostly disappeared. Additionally, my wife seems to appreciate the changes in my strength and physique, as I can see her desire reflected in her eyes and actions. Story 56. I earned my bachelor's degree in engineering at 30 years old. I also lost weight in my 20s. Although it's a bit unusual since I have gained weight again, that decade of being fit was enjoyable. Story 57. I was going to mention that when I switched from cotton socks to merino wool socks a few years ago, it seems insignificant compared to everything else already listed. Story 58. I recently had my testosterone levels checked because I had been feeling lethargic and low on energy, which was unusual for me since I have always been quite upbeat. In my mid-30s, I discovered that my testosterone levels were lower than expected for my age. I was prescribed testosterone replacement therapy, and I now feel as energetic as I did in my mid-20s. For the record, I believe that some additional supplementation during my 20s while competing in bodybuilding may have contributed to my current low levels. I still maintain a healthy diet and exercise regularly. If you are in your 30s and feel off experiencing low energy or drive, it might be related to your hormone levels. It is advisable to get them checked. Story 59. Stop worrying. It's a journey I'm on right now, and while it's a difficult one, I'm looking forward to the end results. Story 60. CPAP for my severe obstructive sleep apnea. I didn't realize my snoring indicated I was not getting enough oxygen, which hindered my ability to rest and heal, and contributed to my weight gain. I have never felt more rested and prepared for the day. It has been a game changer at 40 years old. I'm not sure I ever truly slept before using this. Story 61. Dressing well all the time with a suit jacket, pocket square, fitted shirts, and nice shoes is important. I wear cologne and lotion with pleasant scents and maintain a skincare routine with high-quality products. Taking care of my grooming, including regular hair and beard cuts, also contributes to my overall well-being. I feel much better inside because I take pride in my appearance and maintain a fresh scent. Receiving compliments from women boosts my confidence, but more importantly, my wife appreciates my efforts, which makes both of us happy. Story 62. A bidet can enhance your cleanliness, regardless of how effective your toilet paper is or how healthy your diet may be. It will leave you feeling fresh every time. Story 63. CPAP machine. I started my second life once I received oxygen and real rest. I am a strong advocate for getting tested for sleep apnea. Story 64. Skincare routine. I wash my face with water and apply moisturizer in the morning and at night. Story 65. Not putting effort into women who did not show interest or reciprocate. I made it clear to women who engaged with me what I was looking for, so everyone could have their expectations set early. Story 66. Not being overly critical of myself has opened my eyes to other people's shortcomings. I recognize that I am not perfect, and neither is anyone else. I don't need to prove to others that I am just as perfect as they are. Overly focusing on one's own mistakes is not healthy. Story 67. Sleeping more and improving my sleep quality. I want to add that I am working on getting my finances under control. For most of my life, I struggled financially. Now I have saved a little money. Not much, but more than I ever had before, and it's relaxing. I no longer worry about sudden expenses. I am still not where my wife is. She is doing great. However, I am better off than before. Story 68. Working on my flexibility and mobility has been the best thing I've ever done. It has helped me physically and mentally for some reason. Story 69. Stopping visits to clubs and casual relationships. Having a personal study room at home. It is my intellectual sanctuary. Having a tablet. Story 70. I work only the number of hours that my contract stipulates. I do not try to impress anyone by sending late-night emails or continuing to work on reports after my daily allotted hours have been spent. I close my laptop and spend time with my family. If someone at the office asks, "Can you work on that tonight?" I simply respond, "No, I can't," with a bemused expression. I offer to make time the following morning or whenever, but my evenings are sacred. If my family were trying to reach me during the workday, my boss would be unhappy and I would be quite annoyed, so it should be the same if the situation is reversed. I do not want my daughter to grow up remembering that her dad was too busy to spend time with her after school. Story 71. Stopped smoking, quit drugs, started jogging, home cooking, lost 24 pounds, and I can't stress enough how much it changed my mood. I have a beautiful new wife. Story 72. Does everyone have a kitchen drawer at home filled with random plastic food containers from various brands, different sizes, and mismatched lids? I didn't listen to my wife, dumped them all in the trash while she was at work, and bought glass food containers from IKEA. They are either square or rectangular and can vary in size. All square lids fit square containers, and rectangular lids fit rectangular containers, regardless of capacity. They are very stackable, and food containers now take up 70% less drawer space. For less than $100, it is hard for me to convey how much this has simplified one aspect of our everyday lives. Story 73. I am currently reorganizing my entire room. I did not realize how much I had accumulated. I found clothes I had held on to since 2011 that I no longer wear. New clothes just piled on top of the dresser. Now, 2 weeks in, I have filled 4 bags with old clothes to donate and organized my drawers with new items. Feels great. Additionally, I plan to trade in my old media items that I no longer play or watch. I am making tremendous progress. Story 74. Taking the time to understand myself and become comfortable with who I am changed my whole life. Story 75. I have restless leg syndrome, and taking magnesium supplements along with exercising has greatly improved my life. Story 76. Cleaning up my diet and exercising almost daily. I am in my 50s, but I still get mistaken for a student, which I find hard to believe. Perhaps they think I am a doctoral student. Being fit and toned feels amazing. It also helps that my testosterone levels are significantly higher than before. Story 77. Working out has been a transformative experience for me. I was never overweight or weak, but I wasn't very active. I used to convince myself that I didn't need muscles. However, I discovered that having muscle strength feels amazing, and many of the random symptoms I couldn't explain disappeared. Eating well to support my growth was also a significant factor. Take care of yourself. Story 78. Gym and weight loss. Nutrition. Getting in shape leads to feeling better, improving mood, enhancing movement, and fostering better treatment. Everything is better when you are not obese or out of shape. Story 79. I am quitting addictive substances, but I really wish I had never started with them. Tobacco, cocaine, marijuana, and alcohol. Story 80. I realized that smoking, drinking, and using cocaine was not cool and was not helping my relationships. I quit all of those habits. Story 81. Losing weight. I wish I had done it at the beginning of my 20s instead of at the end, but better late than never. Story 82. Quitting my full-time job and moving to part-time work forced me to eliminate all the toxic luxuries, allowing me to focus on my creative interests. Story 83. Quitting smoking, exercising, drinking enough water, meditating, sleeping well, discussing my feelings, and limiting alcohol consumption. Story 84. Surgery. If I could have gotten in sooner, I would have. Take care of yourselves, everyone. It will give you your life back. Story 85. Therapy has taught me how to live my life, manage my depression, and make more meaningful connections. An unexpected bonus is that women are showing increased interest in me because of it. Story 86. Dance lessons. For years, I felt like a loser at parties. Then I took swing dance lessons and salsa lessons. Once I started dancing with the women from the classes at social events, I became popular. I would go to clubs in various towns when I traveled for work. I would dress up and go to a new club to dance. Sometimes I danced alone, and a woman would approach me. It was amazing to walk into a room filled with women who initially ignored me. After they saw me dance with someone, they were eager to dance with me. It changed my life. I no longer needed to be skilled in conversation. Just leading a good dance was more than enough. Story 87. This is a fun group of individuals. I would say investing in self-improvement is valuable. A nice gym membership and shopping at Whole Foods for quality food are great choices. Story 88. Studying, I thought I was not very intelligent throughout high school. However, when I attended community college and invested in my education, I started studying and realized that I was actually quite smart, just unmotivated in high school. All my friends went to prestigious universities like Ohio State University, the University of Florida, Arizona State University, and the University of California, Los Angeles, while I was at community college and missing that authentic college experience. Story 89. Maintain your health by learning what to eat and continuing to exercise. Without question, health is the top priority, but here are a few additional points. Invest early and often in the exchange-traded fund for the Standard & Poor's 500. Do not sell. Get married and have children before the age of 32. Do not believe that climbing the corporate ladder is the only way to earn money. Never stop learning. Read constantly. Story 90. Live your life, and if a woman wants to follow, that's fine, but don't go out of your way for demanding or combative individuals. Story 91. Having a child is an experience filled with immense love and joy. Feels as though I finally know exactly what to do. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.